Hi everyone, my name is Sidura Ludwig. I'm the author of the short story collection You Are Not What We Expected, coming out May 5th. It takes place in Thornhill, Ontario, which is where I'm speaking to you from, in my house, where I'm spending a lot of time these days, as most of us are, because we are all stuck home working because of COVID. And it can be hard in a busy house. I've got 3 kids to find a quiet place to do a reading, but lucky for me, I have a train in my basement. So come with me. So today I'm going to read to you from the first story in the collection. It's called The Flag. Isaac would like people to understand that the world has rules and that these rules should not be ignored. You should not kill another human being. You should not steal. You should make an effort to look after your community and help it to flourish. And you should never, not under any circumstances, fly one country's flag underneath another's. It's degrading, he's yelling at the man with the black velvet skullcap. It's disrespectful. I can't even stand to look at what you've done. You want to honor Israel, but you've done just the opposite. The man, the principal of the very school Isaac has barged into, is nodding his head politely, albeit with his arms crossed in front of his chest, his back very straight, his feet shoulder-width apart. As Isaac berates him, the principal wonders if now is the right time to organize proper security at the school. Don't ask how Isaac, elderly, short, inconspicuous, managed to just walk right into this building. Other schools in this predominantly Jewish neighborhood just north of Toronto have elaborate security checks, offices positioned right by the front door, secretaries with panic buttons, security guards out front. But Isaac was just out on his morning walk. He was just taking the route he always takes, past the brownstone townhouses, past the strip mall filled with kosher shops, a bakery, a pizza parlor, past the Lubavitch Community Center, and then past the houses on the boulevard, which are starting to look tired from all the children who live in them. Tired the way a favorite t-shirt gets frayed and faded on someone who, over the years, has put on 10 pounds. He walks past all the bicycles and scooters, the double strollers parked in the narrow front lawns, and then passes this school, of which he never took notice, until today. On the flagpole, there are 2 flags instead of 1, and the Israeli flag is flying below the Canadian. The principal takes a breath when Isaac appears to have paused. Every year, the week of Israel's birthday, we fly the Israeli flag in its honor, he says. Many of our graduates go on to make Aliyah. We proudly support Eretz Yisrael. So invest in another flagpole, Isaac yells. We'll take your suggestion under consideration. The principal places his hand on Isaac's shoulder, leading him to the front door. No, you won't. You're going to ignore me. You know, there are 193 flagpoles at the United Nations. This is about international law. One of the teachers, a young woman in a knit beret and an ankle-length denim skirt, has stopped to watch the commotion. Rabbi, she says, her voice quiet but shaking, should I call security? The principal shakes his head. They both know there is no security. They would have to call the police, and Isaac, while certainly irate, is hardly threatening. The gentleman was just leaving. I'm still waiting for an answer, Isaac bellows. Before today, he never knew the strength of his own voice, understood the power of his words. He feels like an opera singer, a baritone reaching his climax, his mouth wide open, his hand outstretched, and then clenched as he comes to his resounding conclusion. And yet, he doesn't want to finish. He could argue like this all day. You're a caring man, the principal says, opening the door, pushing Isaac firmly but gently through the doorway to the spring air, cool against his hot face. Really, I appreciate you bringing this to our attention. And then, before Isaac can say any more, the door is shut. The principal locks it, making a note to send a memo to all staff that the front door must be locked at all times until further notice. Thanks very much for listening. I hope you enjoyed. And I think I'm going to stay down here for a little bit longer where it's quiet.